Hi, it's Guy Arnold. I'm an expert on customer feedback and building sales through service. Here's a very short video that I'd like you to send to all your friends. Now, why would you want to do that? Because this is an answer to a problem that besets all of us all the time. Those bloody annoying phone calls, and they happen at lunchtime in the evening when someone phones you up. Hello sir, I'm just phoning up to ask you. Hello Mr. Arnold, I understand someone in your household had an accident in the last 3 years. Oh, there is a problem with your computer and we need to fix it. Of course it's all bollocks, and they're just trying to sell you something. In fact, many of them are actually trying to rip you off. But the point is this, that really if you get annoyed by it, you're just going to make it worse. Because if you slam the phone down, all they do is phone the next person, you've taken up none of their time, and they just need to know to move on to the next, move on to the next, move on to the next, and 1 in 100 will take their call. So the quicker the call is, the more it favours them. So you don't want to make the call quick for them. And secondly, if you get annoyed by it and you don't take action, you can just get frustrated yourself. So we want a situation where you don't get frustrated, you get happy, you enjoy these calls. And secondly, that these calls stop happening because they are impossible to conduct for the companies. They become uneconomic and unsuccessful. Now that's why I want you to share this video, because if everybody did this, this would achieve that outcome. Now, I've just been teaching a group of people today about how to handle complaints and issues. And one of the most important factors in dealing with complaints and issues is asking really good questions. And it just struck me, I got home and I had one of these annoying phone calls, and it struck me immediately. That's the answer. So rather than getting annoyed and slamming the phone down, or getting abusive, or just getting frustrated, or whatever, the best way to handle these calls that will stop them happening in the long term and keep you happy is to ask some questions. Now, what do I mean by that? Here's an example. Hello, Mr. Arnold. I'm calling from so-and-so, so-and-so, some made-up rubbishy old name that sounds impressive. And I understand there's been a car accident in your household in the last 3 years. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh God, it's one of those painful calls. So I say, oh, hello, how are you? They have to answer that question. It's a question. They'll answer. That wastes about 2 or 3 seconds, and at least it's pleasant. Remember, these people are only trying to do a job anyway, so we don't want to be unkind or abusive to them, because they are actually just trying to do a job, even though the job is probably the crappiest job in the world, and they should be ashamed of themselves. However, putting that aside, they say, I understand you've had a car accident in the last 3 years. Oh, which car are you talking about? Well, that's going to flummox them, isn't it? Oh, well, I understand you just had a car accident. Oh, well, who had a car accident? A member of your household. Which member of our household? Oh, and then, of course, you're going to really mess them up. So there's always questions you can ask. Which car? When did it happen? Which member of the household? And if they talk to you about the computer one, it's which computer? Whose system? When did the problem occur? How did you find out? Who are you working for? What list does it come from? As long as the question is an open question, it starts with who, what, where, when, or which. Try and avoid why. Who, what, where, when, or which. You'll flummox them, because the human mind means that they have to answer a question. When we ask a question, there's a temptation. You have to answer it, don't you? Yes, of course you do. Okay? So when you ask them a question, you'll not only be wasting their time and prolonging the call, you'll be making yourself practice asking really good questions. So it's really good practice for you to ask good questions. So use it for that. Think, great, here's an opportunity for me to think of some good questions. Eventually it'll make the whole process uneconomic for them, and they'll have to stop making the calls. So, hello Mr. Arnold, we're doing a survey on behalf of UK householders. Right, what does that mean? Okay. You're doing a survey. Where did you get my information from? Blah, 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 blah. And what information are you looking for? Blah, 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 blah. We're just going to survey. It's a few questions. Well, how many questions? Blah, blah, blah. And how long will it take? 2 minutes. How do you know it'll take 2 minutes? How long is your average call time? Who else are you calling? What gave you the right to call me? The questions will come forever. You can keep those questions going forever without ever giving them the information they need. They will eventually get fed up and say, oh, I'm sorry, I've got to go. Or they just put the phone down on you, and that's fine as well. Because you're making their life difficult whilst also being pleasant, and also improving your skills. It's a phenomenally powerful technique. It works like a dream. I strongly urge you to do this. And please, please, please send this to your friends and let's get everybody doing this, and then it will totally mess them up. Thanks so much for watching. Very good luck. Go for those questions.